But he who sins against me wrongs his own soul. All those who hate me love death. 6 years ago today, the Holy Spirit I had just been born again of spoke within me and told me to not even acknowledge this day, Halloween. Historically, the Celts dressed up for Samhain to ward off the evil spirits they believed were heavy on the earth around this time. It was their way of protecting themselves from these evil spirits. This was also a time when people offered sacrifices to their idols. This is a time of year when many celebrate death and honor the dead, which reminded me of a term I came across a while ago called deathmaking. Wolfenberger coined the term as far as I know. And essentially, deathmaking is when certain groups mark other groups as deviants and subsequently devalue these groups. I've read Wolfenberger's paper called The Genocide of Handicapped and Afflicted People, and here are some excerpts and points or notes from the paper. The overarching development that is leading to large-scale death-making of various groups of devalued people is the de facto adoption by Western cultures of modernistic, materialistic, hedonistic utilitarianism with its corollaries of individualism, selfishness, and moral relativism. Continuing on, materialism combined with an almost religious belief in the power of science and technology leads people to expect that there is or will be a scientific, technical solution to every form of suffering. Surveys have shown that large numbers of people will support the putting to death of large numbers of other devalued people, provided it is done scientifically. Nowadays, this often means provided it is done medically. Deathmaking can gain easier and more widespread acceptance if it is made to look good and surrounded by an aura of legitimacy. This is accomplished through a process called detoxification, by which is meant making something very bad look clean and good. Today, a major god and moral authority for many people is the field of science, and especially medicine, and therefore scientists and physicians are seen as being the most relevant moral authorities to address questions of life and death. Thus, powerful legitimization is given to death-making if medical personnel and especially medical leaders defend and or promote it. And a way to obscure the reality of death-making is to deny that what is being killed is human. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, basically because of today. And really, this last part of the year is a time of reaping, literally and figuratively. Many people harvest their crops in the fall, but did you know that deaths are most likely toward the end and very beginning of the year? Now, the voice of God never went into detail about why I shouldn't even acknowledge this day. But with all the obsession over death and wickedness, I could take a guess. And besides, I had just come into new life, being born again, and that was to be my focus. Listen, death will come, and for some, twice. But for now, while we're here, while we're still alive, let's focus on that and come back to life.